Hello, hello. How are you? I hope everyone's having a wonderful month. I'm just pulling out my colors here. Let's see. So we are doing our tutorial for the Trick or Treats mini make it insert. So this one's kind of fun. Lots of different ways that we can do this one. All of the little bits that are on top of the candy can be rearranged and kind of placed where you want. Let's see, I've got red to do. Actually, I'm going to do a green. I'm going to do a green apple, see what that looks like. I got purple, orange, black. Okay. So I saw some of you have already finished this one, which is great. You get your pieces in the containers here. And this month I forgot to put the little tabs that lock them in, so they've all been taped in. Don't forget to post your finished pictures. We've seen some in the group already. Emails here. If you have any issues, feel free to email me. And I just posted in the group about last month's tutorial. So just a reminder that Facebook does delete videos after 30 days. So all of our videos are downloaded from our lives and put on our YouTube channel, which I do email the group about. Going to try and reuse that tape, but I do email the group when the video is available on YouTube. But I thought I'd post it in the group as well, just in case. And strictly because I saw that the content had been removed. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that little fact that, Facebook is going to remove content. And if you're looking for the tutorial, you want to go to the YouTube channel. And then I thought, well, we better put a little link in there. So I'll probably also put a link if I haven't already. Let me just double check that. Put a link in the Facebook group at the top. Let's see. Oh, I do. So at the very top of the group, when you go to the group, there's the featured section, which shows just some quick links. If you don't see the quick links, you can hit the over arrow or swipe over. The supply list is the welcome information, but what we're looking for is the quick links. That also gives you a link to access your account on my website if you need to change anything there. It has my email address, and then also has the link to the playlist for the items or for the tutorials. So that's there too if you're ever looking for that. So let's see, what else do I want? Orange, we'll do that orange. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taping everything down that are light colors, oranges, whites. This is going to be white. We'll call that good there. And we'll tape down all the little black bits, spider black, that black, and I think I'll do this black. This taping things this way isn't necessary. It's however you want to tape them. If you feel, oh, that was black too. If you feel taping like candies together, like you're gonna, put these candies together, go ahead and do that. whatever feels and works best for your crafting. Okay. All right. Let me get my timer out. So we have, I'm sure I said it last month, I can't remember, but we have finalized the craft for our next series. So we are going to do another year. This was year one, and we kind of were just like, well, let's see how it goes. But I feel like we can do another year. It looks like it was well received. It appears you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. And I think we're going to do another year. And so we have finalized the craft for that. I'll probably post a few sneak peeks on that. But we have the year will end in November. Your last payment will be, well, 12 months from when you started. So different people signed up at different times. We had an early sign up. So some got signed up in October, late October. So October will be your last payment, but you'll still get one in November because it was, pushed out that far. And then next year, should you want to join again, we will do sign-ups for that. You'll have to re-sign up for that because this was just strictly a year. The sign-up forms are different from year to year. So unless I could try and figure out how to roll it over, but I think it would just be easier to have you sign up again, and probably, I would say, a little bit more legal. Then I'm not pushing any purchases that way through any cards or anything like that. I think it would just be easier. So originally I went with red apples. This time I'm going to do green apples. So I'm just using my green here. All of the items are painted using the makeup wedges. So we're just going through all the colors, and we're going to put a base coat on everything. So a nice light coat. And then we will do a light sanding to smooth anything out. And then we'll put a second coat on. So I'm not sure if we will do paint packs with next year's subscription. That was the one thing that wasn't, we only had a couple people do paint packs, and so for logistics and all of that, I don't know if we will offer those again. So if you are watching and you got a paint pack and you're like, oh, don't get rid of that, let me know your thoughts on that, I guess. Is that a deal breaker for you? Did you find it made it easier for you to craft? Or not? Maybe you used your own colors anyways by the time it got to you. I guess feel free to comment any thoughts on that in regards to the paint packs if you got one, because right now, with the amount of people that are utilizing those, it's not something we'll probably do again unless we hear otherwise. So we are going to just do that normal, what most of you have done in terms of the packaging, where you just get the kit and you supply your own paint and brushes and tools, things like that. Okay, so I think, let's see. Then we've got our candy, which I did in purple. This is not the same purple. This one. And as we roll into the new year for Mini Make It, the new series, I would love to hear any suggestions you have to make it better. So we are going with a different base and a different insert. It's still going to be the insert type. It's still going to, be that monthly insert. Except for this year, I'm thinking we might incorporate doing some decoupaging with some papers. Just because the insert is kind of a frame-like insert. I don't want to give too much away, but we do have some little things planned for it, some to make it a little different, so it's not always the same. So I think that's everything. So I'm going to grab my sandpaper and we're going to go back to the beginning and start just lightly sanding our piece. So when you paint wood, sometimes the fibers on the top will start to stand up after painting it because they get wet and they expand. And so sanding it kind of smooths those fibers out so it doesn't have a rough feel to it. It also just helps sand out any of some brush strokes that you might have on there and give you a smoother finish. So I am just lightly sanding it. You'll see that I don't have any paint on my sandpaper. We don't want to sand so hard that we remove a bunch of paint. And you'll eventually, you will remove a little bit, but we just want a super light sanding to knock down any fibers and smooth out our brush strokes. And that's still a little wet, so I'm going to just kind of set that next to it so I don't forget that that needs to get sanded before I do my second coat. Let's see here. Let's make sure we're looking okay. All right, looks all right. Let me go back to this, make sure I don't have any comments. Okay. Alrighty. So, second coat, we're going back here. Just a light tap of color now. This one always goes a little bit faster because, well, for second coat, we don't need to get too crazy with it. Black always covers fairly well. And then I noticed, I was just kind of going through the group this morning and making sure I didn't miss anything. And there was a comment on storing these. And I wanted to just show you that. So, I can't remember who asked about it, but there was a post about how everyone is storing theirs, and I did find a tub that is the perfect size for these little guys, and I will show you that in the end here. The tub I got from Walmart, and I think it's called a sweater box. It's just the Sterlite box or brand that you can get at Walmart, and I think it comes in a 2-pack, if I remember right. I used the tub itself in a lot of my storage for crafts because 2 of them fit so well in the cube system, and so I bought lots of them. But I was kind of playing around with different tubs, hoping a shoebox would fit. And you might be able to get them in a shoebox size tub, but this one fits so well. So I'm excited to share that with you finally. And I apologize for missing your comment about it earlier. Okay, so everything has got a base coat on it. With this set, I didn't do any distressing. I wanted to leave it kind of bright and colorful. But you're definitely welcome to do some distressing and things like that. But at this point now, I'm just going to start putting my pieces together. And to glue these pieces, I'm using just an all-purpose craft glue. You can use any glue that you want. And I will remind you that I recommend something that's going to dry clear so that you obviously don't have a bunch of issues if the pieces, oh, I forgot some things here, if the glue kind of seeps out. So I forgot I have to paint this stick here, and then you see that little stick right there needs to be painted. I forgot those 2 pieces. So on this main piece, we've got the 2 sticks, for the caramel apples, and then we have the sticks for this lollipop, and then 1 here for that one. And that's all that needs to get painted on that. So now I can start adding my pieces. So I'm going to glue everything together, and then I'm going to come in and add some detail, just some highlights and some detail lines with my black marker and my white marker. Actually, let's just paint these little stripes here on my sticks. I guess I should think about that. Let's see, what color do I want those to be? I did purple before. I think I'm going to do black. Just using a liner brush and painting the stripes on those sticks. So let me know in the comments if anyone decorates for Halloween anymore. We haven't decorated for years, but I always love just kind of crafting for it. I always think, oh, I should just kind of decorate something small, but this little basket is perfect for those holidays where you don't want to get crazy, but also you want to have something, you know? We stopped decorating probably about 7 years ago. It was kind of when we moved into this current house that we're in. And it was just my 2 boys left in the house. The girls had moved out and graduated and were doing their thing. And the boys were like, you don't need to do that. We don't like it. So that was that. I was like, really? It was kind of a sad moment, to be sure. But because I kind of went all out for Halloween. I used to just go crazy. I probably had more Halloween tubs than I did Christmas tubs. But then that was said, and I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Okay, so I got those painted. I'm going to start adding my pieces on now. Now there's 2 pieces that sit in the front. So they sit kind of looking like they're overlapping the They look like they're overlapping the basket. And that's this piece here sits on top of the caramel. And then this piece sits on top of the caramel here, or the candied apple. They can definitely get tucked behind if you want. If you want one kind of tucked underneath the stick here, you could do that. Lots of different ways. There's no right or wrong wherever you want to put those. Definitely feel free to have some creative freedom with those. Just know that they have to sit on the candied apple part, strictly because if they don't sit kind of on top of this, if you tuck them on the green or the apple part, they won't fit in your basket. They do have to go on that candied bit, so it lifts them past the lip of your basket. Here. So it's these two that we're going to put aside there. And then, let's see, we got this. It's there. This candy corn, you know that this candy corn goes here because all the pieces have the notches on it. We've got the notch here at the bottom. We've got the notch there on that piece, and then the notch there on that piece. This candy corn doesn't really have any notches except for this bottom piece there. That one's the full piece, and that one's the full piece. There we go. Look at how great that looks. I just love these colors. And like I said, I love kind of crafting for Halloween, and maybe, you know, it literally, for me, crafting for the different seasons allows you to paint with colors that are a little bit different and feels fresh and new. And so that's really the big thing for me, is trying different colors and doing something a little bit different. Feels fresh and creative and fun. And so that's why I love it. Okay. So before I go any further, I'm going to add just a few highlights to my candied apples here. I've got black on my brush, and I just did a quick little dip in the white to get just a little bit of some gray. And I'm going to just bring in a little swish at the top, and maybe a few little swishes along the side and bottom here, just to give it a little dimension. I'm going to get too crazy with it. But with the black candied part, you do need gray to add those lines. Whereas the other pieces, I mean, you could do white, obviously. But with the other pieces, I am going to use my white marker and my black marker for some highlights and dimension. Okay, so let's put these pieces on. They can be interchangeable. They can sit here and here, however you want to do it. I did that one there, and then this one here. But again, they have to sit on that top piece to be able to fit into your basket. So we're just gonna kind of tuck that there. And this one will have hang off right like that. Give it a good press. And then for the pieces that sit on there, I put the pumpkin on this little candy right here. I thought that fit good. And then I did a spider up here and a spider here. And then the bat on this one. And again, those can be rearranged however you want. You don't even have to have them on the candies if you don't want to. You could definitely just kind of stick them around. Have that up here, however you want to do it. Okay, so now I've got my white marker here. I'm just going to add some highlights because this is kind of a Halloween theme. I'm going to add some X's, kind of like you would see on the kind of where you're when you see cartoons show X's for the eyes. Let's do it over here. You can also color in this pumpkin if you want. I did on my example. I think I'm going to leave it like this. I might add a little bit of yellow, almost like a glowy effect. And then I'm going to take my black and add some squigglies here and there, just for a little touch of whimsy and some fun bits here and there. It's kind of my new favorite thing, is for some squiggles there. Let me grab a liner brush and what do I want to do there? Let's see what yellow looks like. What do we got? Oh, we have plenty of time. Okay, so let's just grab a liner brush and fill this little face in. If you have a paint marker that you want to use for this, you're more than welcome to. And like I said, you don't even have to. I think it looks great without it. And there we go. That is that. Looky there, done in less than 30 minutes. I think that's a record for me, you guys. I really thought this one was going to take longer because it was kind of detailed. But I think without the distressing and all of that, that does help. You know, all of that. But that is our insert. Let me grab that tub. I almost forgot. So, it doesn't have the sticker on it anymore. I looked for a tub that would have the QR code, but this is what I came up with. And so I have my bases at the front here, and I've just put them. I love that it can be arranged kind of like a filing system, so I can put them in the order. You know, I've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. There's my pumpkins. There's my October. And just a little sneak peek at the November and December ones. Obviously, these are the holidays. We do the holidays before. So when I say September or October, this is our September one. We display it in October, right? So that's kind of that, and it kind of gives you room for more, because if you don't know, we are going to include more baskets and more inserts on our website. Once the series is over, all of these will be put on our website for purchase to the general public, along with some other inserts that we've put together and will be available. So you might want to add to it. But anyways, this is the tub that I found fits for the inserts. The only one that doesn't sit upright when I put it on here is the bunny. His ears are kind of long, so he does have to sit off to the side like that. But for the most part, it sits great. So this is the size of it. I think it's called a sweater box. It's, I think, one size up from the shoe tub. I think they call it the shoe box tub. And that's what I use to store it. So I tried a couple different things from the dollar store and stuff, but I think that one is the winner in my case. So anyways, I hope that's helpful. I hope you find time to get creative this month and do a little crafting. I know that I always enjoy kind of diving back into crafting after in the fall because, well, you know, your gardening's over and things like that. So hopefully that is true for you. If you're playing catch up, that's okay. They're there for you when you can get to them. We don't want creativity to be stressed out, right? So I hope you're able to find time this month to get creative and enjoy some time painting. So thanks for coming, or thanks for watching, and I will chat with you later. Bye.